We have a special program today because in a few moments we are joined by a legendary American journalist, Alex Jones. But before that, let's see this short piece about our today's special guest, Alex Jones. Mainstream media, the fourth estate, is molding us today. We form our worldview, our perception of reality, depending on how the mainstream media presents the information to us. In the Western world, the dictatorship of the liberal paradigm is all too obvious when it comes to the media. But it's become especially brazen during the US presidential race. All the big media moguls openly supported the war criminal Hillary Clinton. Round the clock, with the help of lies, distortions, and fake polls, they praised her political platform and assured of her inevitable win. Meanwhile, all the front pages of every other publication portray Trump as a loser, intentionally exaggerating his supposed dark past. His words taken out of context and repeated over and over on all media outlets. On November 8, the main Western media operations had already prepared their November 9 issue with Hillary's portrait on the cover and headline, Madam President. And television programs have prepared reports praising the lady kingpin of the world financial elites. But something went wrong, and all the pre-scripted news packages turned a complete fiasco. They've put everything on the line and failed miserably. The predetermined Clinton win has suffered a death blow. The numbers spoke for themselves. Trump won. No one in the US mainstream media believed or wanted to believe in Trump. No one except for those in the scientific polls, Los Angeles Times, and one dynamic, highly passionate, energetic, and unrelenting journalist and documentary producer, Alex Jones, the director and editor-in-chief of InfoWars News. It is this journalist who had the courage to show the truth of what is really going on in the United States. For many years, he has been fighting the false narratives of the mainstream media information. He has exposed the globalist liberal ideology prevailing in a totalitarian style on the modern Western media front. He reported on the financial elites, their stakes and strategies during the election. Alex Jones believes that behind all the world's media outlets there's an ideological liberal agenda which aims at building a unipolar empire. This world government manipulates all the prominent media systems for the sake of their own personal interests. He was all but ostracized for continually exposing the war crimes of Hillary Clinton. They avoided mentioning his name, and his website suffered repeated denial-of-service attacks. But they couldn't stop him. His videos continue to gather hundreds of thousands of views. Infowars.com was practically the only resource where the elections were covered thoroughly and objectively. They didn't cut their live feeds when someone voiced criticism toward the FBI, and they discussed the WikiLeaks dumps. Infowars has built itself to serve the interests of the American people. This media organization showed its independence from the world financial elites. It showed its sovereignty from the globalist owners. And today, when all the mainstream liberal media have utterly been discredited, revealing themselves as puppets, InfoWars, along with the new independent media outlets, are becoming powerful forces in the new era and new paradigm which ushered Donald Trump.
Thousands of years ago, there was a basic form of chivalry. Our ancestors would hear the drums of war, giving the warriors of the tribe a chance to organize and prepare a defense. 60 years ago, when foreign air forces were approaching filled with bombs, they had drums of their own, air raid sirens. But in the 21st century, there are silent weapons for quiet war. Pathogens added to the food and water, and to the lining of plastics that destroy our vitality, turn off our hormones, and accelerate our journey towards death. I personally counter this onslaught with Anthroplex. Anthroplex is designed with known organic concentrated herbs to create the basic foundation to normal metabolic activity inside the human body. Discover why Anthroplex is turning so many heads today. It's time for us to take our bodies back into our own hands, and it starts at InfoWarsLife.com with Anthroplex.